During this course, my group held several group meetings along with collaborating during the workshop seminar. We did this for the purpose of creating an open dialogue for how we should steer our venture. We had no official structure in our group, but we tried to find consensus and we pushed the criticality of our ideas. We also made sure that we could take informal breaks and just talk about fun subjects that we got onto. I believe that this style of informality mixed with critical thinking and our analysis of ideas worked well because it helped us feel comfortable and it allowed for ideas to be developed beyond their initial flaws. Once in the festival, I believe that I developed some of my speaking skills and my ability to actually understand our group's ideas. And I think that if I was to create a venture again, I would like to have a mock festival before actually making the pitch where I could practice pitching the idea and we could identify weak points in the venture. I also think that it helped me to understand how to pitch in a group and play on my group mates' strengths in order to strengthen our idea as a whole. If I had to develop another venture, I believe that I would like to follow the same approach, but again add in the mock festival, as I believe it would be really helpful to have a practice performance. And I also believe that it would be helpful to have some sort of financial exercise, which would be beneficial as it could help us specifically identify the ways that we could make our idea into a plausible and feasible project that could be expanded and self-reliant. If I was asked a question by a businessman relating to my abilities, I would say that I can listen and speak creatively. By this, I mean a couple things. So, first, that when in groups, I really try to think critically about our ideas and I try to identify the flaws within them in a way that is not aggressive, but it still challenges the weaknesses that I see. I also believe that my speaking method works well when I hear an idea that I think is good because I try to find a way to improve the chances of it being accepted by the group, whether that is through the rephrasing of it, or through small changes that will make it better suited for everyone's particular desires. I believe that this is useful when developing a venture because groups must be able to work together nicely and be able to advance their ideas in a way that everyone feels as though their opinions are heard and incorporated into the idea. I would also explain how once an idea is finished, I can pitch it without feeling nervous or stressed, and even when I'm faced with a critical observer, I can implement my same methods of speaking in order to figure out what their critiques are and how I can better explain my idea to them. I also think that I'm always willing to listen to their ideas and to try to think of how I can improve my venture if their point identifies a legitimate flaw as opposed to a misunderstanding between us. After taking this course, I definitely feel much better prepared to work with sustainability and inclusion. Although much of the material that was presented I had heard of or read about before, running through it and practicing it, I think, was very valuable as it allowed me to really learn what I like and what I don't like and how I work with this material. So a social innovation to me is some sort of advancement, whether it's a good or service that provides an outlet for the improvement of human rights and dignity. It should be something that works towards improving conditions relating to human freedoms, housing, basic needs, or self-esteem, and it should do this through working through financial, political, or religious freedoms, or maybe things such as food and healthcare systems. A social innovation should attempt to fight degradation of human life and be deeply purposeful and development motivated, and that I believe it should aim to create a social foundation which the world can stand on by improving things such as water, income, education, resilience, voice, jobs, energy, social equity, gender equality, health, or food. And I think that while doing this, it should be cautious to not surpass the ecological restraints set onto the world, by things such as land use, climate change, fresh water use, nitrogen and phosphorus cycle, ocean acidification, chemical pollution, atmospheric aerosol loading, ocean ozone depletion, or biodiversity loss. A sustainable venture a business is a business proposition that attempts to solve or use a social innovation in order to improve the standards of the world. They should do this through an inclusive and holistic approach, and they should understand that their problem and then recognize an opportunity and ability to fix it before starting to develop a solution that can fit the social, ecological, and economic bottom lines. They should then be able to be funded and formed and then attempt to enter a market that it seems as sustainable as well. I think that its purpose should be to produce benefits while still maintaining the quality of life and natural resources. I believe that it should also clearly identify positive outcomes from its existence and that it should be ran by people who will monitor and improve the outcomes for society while improving the economic strength of the company as well. And lastly, I believe that a sustainable venture should prioritize customer segments that are in the most need of social innovation in order to bring up the base of the population before further improving society for the top. While working throughout this course, I believe that some of the most important things that I learned were how to focus on identifying problems, working towards solutions that were practical and pragmatic, and remaining in a holistic mindset the whole time. So remembering all of the dimensions of sustainability and how to keep them all prioritized. In order to make changes in society, you must first understand society. So by this, I mean that during the class, my group had Latin America, and we chose Bolivia. So in order to fix something in Bolivian society, we had to first understand the culture that was present there. And while doing this, it started to make sense the importance of really knowing a society before creating a venture there. I also think that it showed me that entering a foreign culture almost requires you to find people who are native to that culture and that can help you understand the nuances that occur daily. I believe that after performing all of the tasks throughout this quarter, I would say that I'm actually a mixture of a diplomat and an individualist. And I think this is so because I really stress good relations between my teammates, and I try to bring all of our opinions together, but while doing this, I push my own ideas, which fall closer to the individualist. I did change my leadership style from what I said in the beginning, and I think this is because instead of guessing how I would react in the situations, I was able to actually see how I would. And I think, again, this relates to being able to learning from the experience itself. So, thank you.